Hello and welcome to this virtual session. My name is Igor Miladinovic and I will present this contribution together with Sigrid Schäfer-Menzel. We are both teaching at University of Applied Sciences, Campus Vienna, and in a bachelor study called Computer Science and Digital Communications and master study program called Software Design and Engineering. The topic of today's presentations are learning diaries. The agenda is shown in this slide. First, I will tell you something about our motivation to work with learning diaries. Then I will explain what is behind the term learning diaries, what are the benefits and what are the challenges for applying learning diaries. Then we will present some examples for courses where we have applied learning diaries. This part will be done by Sigrid, and out of these courses we will summarize our lessons learned. And we will conclude the presentation with the most important findings. Why do we need learning diaries? Especially in the last couple of months, last 2-3 months, we have seen that distance learning is extremely important. And mobile learning generates even more opportunities for active distance learning. That's why we are applying mobile learning. Also, before this crisis, we introduced mobile learning in a number of courses at our university, because we have seen that in software engineering education, or in general in an engineering education, that traditional style lectures are preferred, meaning mostly based on frontal presentations and an examination at the end. And this leads to high dropout rates, to low satisfaction among students, and to limited students' self-reliance. We wanted to change this picture, and that's why we are looking for new methods, we are applying new methods, and we know that acceptance of new methods always depends on the selection of proper tools. First, we need to know what we want to achieve with this method, what is the goal of a course, and then out of this we have to select a set of tools which are supporting these methods. In this presentation, we will focus on one of these tools called learning diaries. And this tool had some quite unique properties. It is a didactic tool which supports visualization of learning progress of the students, especially for distance learning phases. So the students are able to reflect on what they have understood. They are also able to state what they didn't understand, and we are then able to find out where the difficulties, and in the in-class hours we are able to focus on these difficulties. So the main purpose in higher education is to summarize students' understanding and also retention of complex issues, and also to motivate students to make reflections of what they have learned. One USP of a learning diary is almost USP. There are just a couple of tools which are also sharing this functionality, is the possibility for the students to express their emotions. And for us, it is a very important sign to see what are the emotions of the students during some distance learning tasks. For example, if it was too much effort, if it was too frustrating because not explained well, or if it was well explained and then the emotions are very positive, and so on. So they are free to write what they did, what they have learned, and also what is the feeling during the learning progress, and to state some open questions. Here you can see the benefits for learning diaries, both for students and for lecturers. For students, it's obvious, as I said before, they can track their learning progress. And at the end of the course, they can also read all the records and see how was the progress of learning, and maybe to repeat some difficult issues. They can also plan, organize, and monitor their learning progress. They have to make a contribution for learning diaries every week, so they are forced to learn regularly and not at the end of the course for a final examination. Benefit for us, for lecturers, we are able to see where are the difficulties in the learning progress, and what is working well in the learning progress. We can also identify topics which are not so easy to understand, and we can talk about these topics more in the in-class hours, which is a very valuable feedback for us. However, there are some challenges in applying learning diaries. It is very important to provide timely feedback. For the contributions, if they have to wait several weeks, 2 weeks for the feedback, they will stop doing learning diaries. So they will, in 2 weeks, they will forget what, or they want to know what they can improve, what are what is our opinion about their contributions. So it costs quite a lot of time, especially for a big group of students. So we have courses with 60, 70 students, and each week to read and each contribution and to provide a feedback is quite a lot of effort. The second point, which is important, the students have to know what are the benefits of this kind of learning, especially in a study program where the majority of courses is in traditional style. If we are introducing some new methods, they have to know why we are doing this and what are the benefits. So in this presentation, we will tell you more about 3 concrete courses where we have integrated learning diaries. Speaking about these 3 courses, there are 2 existing courses which we changed or enriched with learning diaries, and it was one completely new course which we have developed from the beginning with learning diaries. All of these courses are in both full-time and part-time classes of our bachelor program, Computer Science and Digital Communications. And speaking about part-time classes, this means that the students they have completed the same material, completed the same program. The only difference is that the study takes place at the evening. So now we will talk more about these 3 courses, and I would like to hand over to Sigrid, who will give you more insights into these 3 courses.
Thank you, Igor. I'm going to present you 3 different mobile learning-based course designs where learning diaries are integrated as an important didactic element. And as Igor already mentioned, all these course designs were applied in full-time and part-time classes, so we can report from findings of approximately 10 different courses that took place over the last 2 years in our bachelor program. This first course design, which we called Learning Diaries for Wrap-Up, we have applied this first course design in a course called Software Engineering in the 3rd semester of our bachelor study program. At this time, the students are supposed to have a basic programming skill level, and the main goal of this lecture is to introduce structured methods for software development. In this course design, new topics are always introduced in in-class hours. So every new topic is introduced in an in-class hour, and here we use different warm-up exercises based on an example project to go through the complete life cycle of a software project during the course. The major part of the course is done in distance learning phases, which are designed for mobile learning concerning learning material, for example. In these mobile learning phases, students are deepening their knowledge via self-study material, and they also implement small software projects in groups. Learning diaries here in this course setting are used to weekly wrap up the findings from the mobile learning phases. This should help to reflect the learning progress after each topic and to make the newly obtained knowledge sustainable by a structured repetition of the new material. So these learning diaries follow a particular structure, and students can reflect on their progress in these learning diaries, and they have the function of a wrap-up. The second course design in the second course design, learning diaries are used for warm-up. We applied this course design in a course called Mobile App Development in the 4th semester of our bachelor study, and at that time students already have a basic understanding of software engineering methods as well as solid programming skills. The main goal of this course is to teach the specifics of mobile apps and to further deepen software engineering and programming skills. So students here are already quite advanced in the study. And in contrast to the course design described before, in this setting new topics are introduced in mobile learning phases. Therefore, students have self-study material for all topics, and this is provided in advance to the in-class hours, and also software projects are implemented in virtual teams. Learning diaries here are used for reflection of this introductory material and to formulate questions which are discussed then in class. In this course setting we only have very limited in-class hours, and therefore this time is very valuable and needs to be spent carefully. The purpose of learning diaries, however, in this course setting is different, as the students get to know topics on their own and reflect on what they understood, what was unclear, and how they acquired further knowledge on these topics. In this setting then, the in-class hours are directly influenced by the input given in the learning diaries. And in the in-class hours, we clarify questions and further deepen the topics that are frequently stated in the learning diaries for further explanation. In the third course design, learning diaries are used for long-term documentation. This course design was applied in a course Scientific Technical Writing, and the main goal of this course is to introduce students into writing scientific technical papers. This knowledge then is the basis for several other seminar papers during the study, as well as for the bachelor thesis in the last 2 semesters. This class starts with an in-class hour, and where the new topics are introduced with warm-up exercises, and we again have mobile learning phases where these topics are deepened. After about 1/3 of the course, students start to write a seminar paper in the mobile learning phases, and this activity is also supported by regular coaching units. The learning diaries here serve again a different purpose in comparison to the other 2 course designs. Besides the reflection of the obtained knowledge, they weekly document the rules and recommendations for scientific writing, as well as the findings during both phases, including in-class hours as well as mobile learning phases are documented. This documentation should help the students during the rest of the study for scientific writing. And in addition, this learning diary again is used as a communication tool with the lecturer. Students can again ask specific questions regarding the paper, as well as they can also propose topics for the in-class hours. Some of our lessons learned when applying learning diaries. So in the learning diaries, students have the opportunity to raise further questions autonomously for an extended inquiry in the in-class hours. And then we as lecturers can adapt these in-class hours accordingly. However, in most course settings, mainly the part-time studies took advantage of asking questions. The part-time studies in our program are students that usually work besides the study. Well, this might be linked to their increased self-confidence due to their work experience and limited time resources for further study. That's probably why they asked more questions in the learning diaries. We also found that providing templates and examples of learning diary entries has a very positive effect, as the students get a deeper knowledge on how to reflect and assess themselves. So probably this is because students feel much more confident and engaged in the way they reflect their own learning achievements when templates are provided. It's also very important that we provide immediate and individualized feedback, as well as informing the students of the benefits, the general benefits of self-regulated learning. This seems to be very important in order to leverage the full benefits of learning diaries. The main difference in the course designs we have presented you is the way new topics are presented. So in the first course design, learning diaries are used as a wrap-up tool to reflect on each topic introduced in class and further deepened on their own via mobile distance learning. From our experiences, this setup is especially suitable for students being completely new to a topic. In our case, this was or is software engineering. In an advanced course, learning diaries can already be used in an earlier stage, as the students are able to combine their new knowledge with already existing one. So in the distance learning phase, the students should reach a certain knowledge level on a specific topic and then reflect on their learning progress and also link it to other knowledge they already have gained. And this then is discussed and further developed in class. So to conclude our talk, learning diaries are a well-known tool for reflecting and tracking the learning progress. We have already integrated this tool into several courses in the software engineering context, and we also plan to extend it to other courses. In this talk, we presented the course designs of 3 different mobile learning-based courses and discussed also the different objectives of the learning diaries in each of them. We found that especially in software engineering education that is often characterized by very diverse levels of students' knowledge, a high degree of group work and lots of informal learning from sources such as forums, videos or reused code, learning diaries offer an effective tool to develop students' autonomy and reflection capabilities. However, the potential of learning diaries has to be unfolded by the appropriate integration into the course design, leveraging benefits of mobile learning for both students and lecturers. In our future work, we will present detailed results on evaluations of the described courses and also other concepts for new course designs. Thank you for listening to our talk. Goodbye.